Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we never stop reading the Bible.
That's right.
Today we're embarking on an exploration of 2 Chronicles, specifically chapters 5 through 7.
A really pivotal section.
Absolutely. Our focus is that momentous occasion, the temple dedication in Jerusalem under King Solomon. We'll be drawing directly from these chapters, trying to understand the profound significance of the Ark of the Covenant finally arriving in its permanent home.
And everything that happened right after.
Exactly. The immediate aftermath.
Well, starting in chapter 5, what's really fascinating is how this is framed as like the intended high point of Solomon's reign.
Right. All of that building leads here.
Yeah. Years of preparation, construction. It all leads to this moment. The Ark, the symbol of God's covenant with Israel.
Being moved from the city of David.
Correct. From its temporary spot into this magnificent brand new temple.
And the timeline is worth noting, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. It wasn't quick. The text mentions it took 7.5 years. Started in his 4th year, finished in his 11th.
Around 959 BC, give or take?
Yeah, approximately.
Yeah.
So this was a massive, deliberate undertaking. No rushing involved.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit. Solomon doesn't just, quietly move it.
Not at all.
The text says he summons everyone, the elders, the heads of the tribes, all of Israel's leadership in Jerusalem for this.
It's a national event, a statement, showing unity, showing the importance of this moment.
And then the actual placement into the inner sanctuary, the most holy place, positioned right under the wings of the cherubim. That imagery is powerful.
It really is. That placement under the cherubim.
Yep.
I mean, these figures are always linked with God's presence guarding the sacred.
Right.
So putting the Ark with the tablets right there,
Yeah.
It visually screams, this is the heart of God's presence and authority here.
And it mentions what was inside, too, explicitly.
Yes, 2 Chronicles 5.10. It's very pointed. Only the 2 tablets Moses put there at Horeb. Nothing else.
Which is interesting. It connects this grand temple all the way back.
All the way back to Sinai. To the foundation. It's like a reminder, isn't it?
Yeah.
The physical building is amazing, but it serves the covenant, the divine law.
Okay, and then things get, intense.
Very intense.
This manifestation of God's glory, a cloud, so thick it fills the temple.
Yeah, fills the whole place. And the priests, they actually have to stop what they're doing. They can't minister.
That immediately makes you think of Moses, doesn't it? The tabernacle.
Exactly. That parallel is crucial. It's not accidental.
So what does that tell us? That connection.
It signals continuity. God's presence isn't new here. It's the same presence that was with them in the wilderness tabernacle.
Now dwelling in this permanent structure.
Precisely. It's like God putting his stamp on it, a massive visual, yes, I accept this. This is my house.
Wow. Okay, so moving into chapter 6, Solomon's response.
He doesn't just stand there stunned.
No, he launches into this incredible prayer of dedication.
And his postures is significant too, kneeling on a special bronze platform made just for this.
In front of everyone, the whole assembly of Israel.
Yeah, it shows humility, reverence, despite being the king. It's quite a scene.
And the prayer itself is quite lengthy.
It is. It mirrors 1 Kings 8 pretty closely, but it has sort of 2 main parts.
Okay, what are those?
First, he's really acknowledging God's faithfulness. Thanking God for keeping his promise to David about building the temple, about the dynasty.
Fulfilling that promise.
And then second, it shifts. He takes on this priestly role almost, offering intercessory prayer for the people.
Like praying on behalf of the nation.
Exactly. There are actually 7 specific petitions, though we probably don't need to detail each one now.
Right.
But the overall theme is him entrusting Israel's future, their well-being, to God's covenant faithfulness and mercy.
And mixed in with that are these amazing praises of God.
Oh, yeah. Solomon really extols God's unique nature, incomparable, keeping covenant, showing steadfast love, that kind of thing.
And what strikes me is how he keeps attributing the temple's completion to God, not his own achievement.
Yes, that's a constant refrain. Verses like 6.4 and 6.10, he's clear. God did this. God fulfilled his word.
It wasn't just Solomon's project management skills.
No. It underscores the temple. Yeah, it's magnificent, but it's fundamentally about God's desire, God's initiative to dwell with his people.
A gift, not just human effort.
A gift rooted in grace. That's a good way to put it.
Okay, then chapter 7, God's response. And it's immediate.
Instantaneous and dramatic.
Yeah.
As soon as Solomon finishes praying, boom.
Fire from heaven.
Yep. Fire comes down, consumes the burnt offering, the sacrifices on the altar.
Wow.
And again, the glory of the Lord fills the temple, just like the cloud earlier, but now with fire.
Double confirmation almost. How would the people have seen that fire?
Well, it would have been undeniable, visceral. In the Old Testament, fire often represents God's presence, his purity, his acceptance.
Right, like accepting the sacrifice.
Exactly. So seeing fire fall from heaven onto their sacrifices, that's about as clear a sign of divine approval as you can get.
Leaves no doubt.
None. And their reaction shows it. The king, the people, they all bow down, faces to the ground, worshiping, giving thanks. It clearly had a massive impact.
And this wasn't just a quick moment, was it? The celebration continued.
Oh, it was huge. The dedication itself involved vast numbers of sacrifices. Solomon and all Israel participating.
Just massive offerings.
Unbelievable numbers, yeah. And then, right after that, they kept going. They observed the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days.
So it's this extended period of celebration, consecration, joy.
A really significant national moment of worship. But chapter 7 doesn't end there. There's more.
Right. God appears to Solomon again.
Yes. And gives him a message. A covenant, really, concerning the temple.
Okay, what's the gist of that?
It's basically setting the terms. God reaffirms his choice of the temple, but he lays out the conditions. Blessings for obedience.
And consequences for disobedience.
Serious consequences.
Yeah.
Exile, the temple itself being rejected. It reinforces that the covenant relationship is conditional.
So even with this amazing temple, God's presence isn't automatic or guaranteed.
Exactly. Their faithfulness, their obedience to the covenant, that remains paramount. The building itself doesn't save them if they turn away.
It's a powerful reminder right at the peak of the celebration.
It truly is. A sobering reality check woven into the joy.
So, just to recap these chapters then, we've seen the Ark brought in, this incredible manifestation of God's glory.
Twice, really. The cloud and the fire.
Solomon's big prayer of dedication, God's fiery acceptance.
Massive celebrations, the sacrifices, the Feast of Tabernacles.
And finally, God's covenant with Solomon, spelling out the blessings and curses tied to obedience.
Yeah, it's a complete sequence. Establishing the temple, God affirming it, and then setting the terms for the relationship going forward. It really cements the temple's central role.
This has been a deep dive from the Center Studio.